Ciao guys, just waiting for Facebook. Ciao, hi, hey guys, it's your boy M.K.S here, back with another video. I've got to admit, I'm going to start with a bit of a negative to be honest, but I've been going through a bit of depression and an existential crisis and questioning the worth of life and the meaning of life and things like that. As I sometimes do, I've been a bit frustrated and depressed, to be honest with you, if I'm absolutely honest, and I even wanted to post stuff on Facebook, but sometimes I wonder if I'm negative. I don't really want to offend other people, actually, or drag other people down with my negativity. But if I'm honest, I've been going through I don't know if nihilism is the right word, nihilistic crisis, or I've read the term, but I can't remember what it's called. It begins with A. There's apathy, and there's another one that begins with A. But anyway, I'll try and be positive, not be. But yeah, I've been struggling with mental health and I guess my hoarding and different ideas and having too many ideas. I said to my brother a while back, like taking too much on. He said, no, I wouldn't say that. But as in, like having so many ideas, I want to do things. Well, I want to get things done, but it's almost like I want them just to happen. I don't really like to work hard, but I do have lots of ideas, and I'm stuck in several minds about writing in my, I was going to say biography then, my diaries, or my diary. I actually got two. I shouldn't really stuck to one, obviously. But my diary, refill pads, jotting rough notes down, and things like that. Wanting things to be a certain way. So yeah, it's been a bit difficult, but hopefully making this video will cheer me up expressing this idea. And due to my pattern size, it's a 10th. For some reason, the number 10 reminds me of like future plans, but also youth empowerment. And from a selfish point of view, I want to empower Italian youth development. I'd love to fundraise, basically to help. And by the way, I was going to say I'm focusing on the YouTube screen today, so often at least for this video. I don't know if I'll make any more today because I spend time with my little sister, or you could say stepsister or whatever. But anyway, yeah, it's 8th birthday on. I don't know if I'm sure I've mentioned that, but we're going to celebrate today. But yeah, it's kind of difficult because I'm kind of not in a really big mood to go out and celebrate. Or I'm not in a very cheery mood, but I'm going to try and do that for my sister for her birthday, really. And of course, at that age, birthdays are important and that kind of thing. But for me, I just love for people to support Italian football and Celtic on my birthday, like financially. I mean, but anyway, I'd love to fundraise and on that note, for Italian football and Celtic. And on that note, I'd love to have your suggestions and ideas about how Italian football and Celtic could fundraise to have more academies. And I'd love for Italy to have its own version of like La Masia, Barcelona's youth academy, Ajax's youth academy. I don't know what it's called to be honest, but Apex or something. Not sure. I think it's the pitch is called the Ajax Arena. I think, could be wrong. I don't really know much about it, but I know they do have a good youth facility. And then Barcelona had probably the best youth facility. But I'd love for Juventus, the best youth facility, and I'll talk more specifically about Juventus tomorrow. But yeah, I suppose I could have titled this Juventus, and maybe together with Celtic in brackets, to have as many youth facilities as possible, as many academies as possible. But yeah, I'd love to find ways to do that. I wonder if they could have an account that people donate to, or whatever that could help them to have more youth academies, which would benefit Italian football and Celtic, especially Italian football. But as I said, I'd love for especially Juventus, but Italian football more generally, to have more youth academies. And also I'd love for them to play at least 3 under-21 players in all senior games, including in parks and all that kind of older players, teaching younger players and trying to find a balance between child protection and safeguarding, and also at the same time developing younger players, especially for Italy. Also, so well, but actually put the title differently, put a different title on Facebook and YouTube. Sometimes I do that. I like to put the description as a title for the other, description of one as a title for the other, but yeah, as the other. But yeah, I'd love to know any ideas you have on how you would fundraise for Juventus and Italian football generally and Celtic to have more academies, 7-a-side pitches and things like that, just academies generally, and how they could train together more and that kind of thing. I'd love for Italians to play football and practice for at least an hour a day, and to find ways they can get coaching opportunities, and maybe for Italians to unite behind the team to make Italian football great again. And I wasn't sure whether to research this or not, or at least basically to Google it, but I think it's called Clairefontaine, the French football academy, which produces so many great players and has produced so many great players over the years. I'd love for Italy to have its own version, especially in Turin, where Juventus is based. So yeah, I'd love to find all possible ways where Juventus and Italian football generally, and Celtic also, could excuse me, raise funds to have more academies, as many academies as possible, to develop young players, which I hope again will benefit, especially like the Italian national team and Italian football generally, club and country, and so basically Serie A teams and that kind of thing, and Celtic as well. So yeah, I think I'm going to go for a walk and go for a shower and get ready. So yeah, hope you enjoyed waffling, but I did try and keep it short and sweet. I know I do waffle, but yeah, I don't know if they could have a certain account or what ideas they could have that could attract sponsorship and investment generally and that kind of thing for youth academies, and for Italian football to have their own versions of, like the Masia, Ajax's youth academy, like Clairefontaine, and things like that, and develop players just like Brazil and Argentina have done over the years, to see how Italian football can get back to doing that, to get back to the top. And maybe I think of even like different pictures. Sometimes I do wonder, that's pictures with a P, just in case, right? But I know I do struggle with pronunciation, so just in case, I thought just to clarify. But sometimes I wonder how many of these ideas I should share openly. But I love for people in Italy and Italians from the diaspora, and even my fellow Anglo-Indians and other regions, why not ignored first people, perhaps even if I could convince them, as many of them as possible, but especially people from Italy and from the diaspora and Eurasians, including Anglo-Indians and other Eurasians, to fundraise for things like this, and to get into football, Eurasians, including Anglo-Indians and other Eurasians, to get into football. And I was going to say something else to round it off, but I've completely forgotten. Oh yeah. One thing I was going to say, I think that's something else I was going to say as well, but one thing is I was thinking that they could be different, as I say, different pitches, different academies and pitches, which could be called like the Messi Academy, where people copy or try to copy Messi's skills, see if they can learn them, especially from a young age, the youngest possible age, like from 6 or 7, 5, 6, 7 years old, maybe even 4 years old if possible, to at least start learning those and learning from their mistakes, making plenty of mistakes and learning from them, so that they can. I did want to try and make this about 5 minutes at one point, but it's almost 8 minutes on. But maybe I could keep it to 10 minutes for the 10th. But anyway, yeah, there could be academies like the Ronaldinho Academy, where people try different skills that they see Ronaldinho do from like YouTube videos. I've seen YouTube videos where he does great skills that are great to watch. So they bring a lot of appeal to Italian football, and hopefully it'll be a lot of fun. I'd love for my fellow Anglo-Indians and other Eurasians, I'll say, to get into football, including management, coaching, things like that. But also playing and trying those skills and going to Italy and working with Celtic as well. Maybe Celtic could have similar. It'd be interesting to see in Scottish football players with skill like that. I often think, like, if Celtic got so much money, how much more it could dominate Scottish football, especially if it actually spent that money on developing, on buying better players. Because like the league we're in, Celtic, I mean, is such a lower level league that having really good players would actually thrash that league even more. But some people believe the board. Some people are a bit cynical and think. Some say the board are just tight and just want to make more money from it, want to invest that money. But they probably make more investing it. And some say it's like it almost feels like they want to make Scottish football competitive rather than run away with it. But as a Celtic fan, I'm sure most Celtic fans would agree with me. I'd rather just run away with it. But I think with youth development, it's more important for me for Italian football because I support the national team as well. As I said before, I don't support Scotland or Ireland or whatever. But I mean, I like to see them do well, but it doesn't affect me as much. It's good to see them get into tournaments, but it doesn't really affect as much. But yeah, I'll try and wrap this up. But yeah, I changed the ringtone on my old phone by mistake and I forgot, but it makes a funny sound. I can't tell. But what do you think about that ringtone? Please let me know. I actually meant to change my alarm, so I would actually hear it in the morning and it would wake me up. Sometimes I sleep through it. I don't think it's loud enough or whatever for some reason. I suppose I sleep like a lot when I do, unfortunately, but I love to sleep a lot less. But with my depression, it's difficult, to be honest with you. But I did say I'll try and get more positive. But anyway, I'm trying to end it on a positive. But yeah, I'd love to see them try different skills from Ronaldo, Brazilian Ronaldo, and Portuguese one, and Messi and others. And I'm out. Peace and love.